Happy Monday. Welcome to the Menopause Nutrition Reset. I'm super excited that you guys are here. So if you're here joining me live, say hello in the comments. I don't see them in my streaming app, but I have my phone handy so that I can see who's on. So hi, Kristen. Hi, Jackie. Yay, it's working. All the tech's working. You guys know sometimes I'm a little tech challenge when we get on these things. My hair looks weird. It's because I have a background. Anyway, so excited to get started. So we're going to jump right in. But before I do, just a couple of quick housekeeping things. I think we have about 30 people who are registered for this event. So the feed, the live will be available in the group here till I think I keep them up till Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. There's about a week. So if you miss one of them, it's okay. Come back and watch it. Don't miss a minute because I'm sharing some really valuable tips with you and some information. If you haven't printed out your guidebook yet, the Menopause Nutrition Reset Guide, make sure you do that because it's also got a lot of great stuff to help you get through this week, the Menopause Nutrition Reset. So just a quick overview. What we're doing this week is we're going to jumpstart some weight loss. Who wants to lose a couple of pounds this week? Maybe 5, 6. I have had some of my previous participants have lost up to 6 pounds in this nutrition reset. So you can too. We're going to take a break from sugar this week because sugar is kind of one of the main things. It is one of the main things. It is definitely one of the main things that gets us kind of in trouble with our weight. It makes it difficult for us to lose weight. I'm going to go into some specific reasons why that is, so that you can understand why. Because when we know the reason why, right, then we are more motivated to follow through. So, we know sugar's bad for us, but we don't necessarily know why. So I want to be able to tell you why. So if you're missing the guidebook, make sure that you send me a DM and I will get it to you. If you didn't sign up via the registration link, then you wouldn't have gotten it. So I want you to sign up via the registration link so that you have the guidebook, because I'm also going to be sending all the people who registered are going to get a daily inspiration email from me. So it's not just the coaching that I'm doing here for you. It's also the daily inspirational email that you're going to get that's got some additional help in it to support you. So super, super excited about that. And then let me just introduce myself. We do have a lot of new people registered that have not, that may not know me, may not be in my world yet. So my name is Leslie Little. I'm a dietitian. I'm a nutrition coach for women over 50, specifically transitioning through this menopause journey. So it could really be, some women transition a little earlier than that. It can really be anyone over 40. It just depends when your time is. And I'm going to teach you how to, I love to support women in losing weight and mostly balancing your hormones so that you can lose weight naturally and you can look and feel like yourself again. Because those of us that have been through menopause know that it can be kind of a crazy time. A lot of symptoms start happening. It's very common for us to put on weight, especially around the middle. We don't know what's going on. We haven't changed anything that we're doing. And our natural tendency is to cut back on calories, to restrict ourselves from eating. We say, oh, I got to eat less and I got to work out more. And actually, that's not necessarily true. You're going to love to hear that. So anyway, I'm here to help guide you through some things that are going on with that. So who's excited? So I would like to see in the feed, I do see some more people in the feed. So drop in the feed. If you're in perimenopause, like you're somewhere you haven't menopaused yet, menopause is the date 12 months after you've had no cycle for 12 months. So, this is one of the things about these backgrounds. Look, my hands, they go all crazy. All right. And I use my hands a lot, so it's going to be crazy. Anyway, so if you are still having a cycle, we're in a private group and we're all women, so don't worry. We can talk about it. Okay. So if you're somewhere before menopause, that means you're in perimenopause. If you're in menopause, then that's just a date. That's 12 months from the time that you had your last cycle. And then postmenopause is anything after that. So just drop a comment in if you're in menopause, if you're not in menopause, whatever, where you're at, and maybe tell me what kind of symptoms you've noticed or what did you experience. And for most of us, it's some kind of weight gain, brain fog, lack of sex drive. What are some other ones? Hot flashes, sweats, night sweats, more headaches. There's just a whole kind of host of symptoms that go along with it. But the most obvious one, I think, for most women, and why I started this group a few years ago is the weight gain, especially around the middle, that frustrating menno belly, I call it. God, you guys, I'm in trouble. Okay, so are you ready to get going? So definitely, let's see, postmenopause, definitely postmenopause, weight gain for sure, peri. So we got a little spread of different things. What else? Yep, the muffin top. Yep. We hate that, right? We want to get rid of that. I'm going to tell you where that's coming from. It is possible to reverse these symptoms. So just have hope. I'm here to give you hope. Okay. I'm here to give you hope. My story, real quick, is I'm very definitely postmenopause as well. In fact, I'm in my post-Medicare years. So, we hit Medicare at 65. So I'm a couple years beyond that. But when I was going through my menopause years, it was around my early 50s, I started noticing these symptoms that I've described to you. And when I went to my doctor said, and I was really fatigued. That was another one, pretty much fatigued. I couldn't get through my day. And he said, oh, it's normal. You're probably going through menopause, put a nose, check your thyroid, that kind of things. I was depressed about it too. I probably did have some mental health stuff going on, but because of the people that I surround myself with, I don't allow that stuff to bring me down for too long, but I could feel myself fighting it. Okay. So, anyway, so I was told it was normal. We checked out my thyroid. Everything looked good because your blood thyroid is maybe different than what's really going on. It's not a secret anymore. In fact, it's pretty well talked about on a lot of the podcasts and stuff that I listen to, from even OBGYNs who were admitting that they are trained or equipped to deal with women in menopause and really understand. In other words, it's all been kind of late that within the last few years that we're really paying more attention to what we women are saying. And so I'm happy to be part of that revolution of let's change this for women. It shouldn't be this way. There should be something we can do. So fatigue and brain fog. Yes, Kristen. Oh, thank you, my beautiful friend. All right. So that's was my story. And I, because of my background in dietetics and nutrition, I have had previous to becoming a stay-at-home mom at 42 and kind of sidelining my dietitian career. I was a registered dietitian. I worked in hospitals. I prescribed diets and taught patients as they were leaving the hospital how to eat to help improve their symptoms, like diabetics, hypertensives, high cholesterol, cardiac patients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, so I call it I'm sorry, getting some reverb from my phone. I call it the sick care business, because that's what we do. We take care of sick people, and then we'd send them home and with a diet, which most of them couldn't follow because they didn't understand how to put it into their lifestyle. So that's menopause comes with all these symptoms that really are there's something we can do about it with our diet. And so let's fix it before it becomes chronic. Like, we're all going to go through menopause. And some of you are post, as I am. And so you can go through menopause feeling good, or you can go through menopause feeling like crap. But there's a lot of health risks that go with that belly fat that we get. And that's that visceral fat is not good for our inner organs. And so we're putting ourselves at risk for heart disease. And it's no surprise then, right? That heart disease is the #1 killer of women. So maybe there's some correlation. So let's fix it. And it's never too late either to fix your health. I'm a work in progress, constantly working on improving my health and improving my diet and improving my nutrition, improving my environment so that it's less toxic. There's so many things. So we can't cover all of them this week, but I do want to talk to you about why is it. So when I started looking around 20 years after not being in the hospital industry, I thought, why are we as a society still so heavy? Like, there's an epidemic. When COVID hit, that's all we heard about was epidemic of obesity. And so why are we still fat 20 years later, right? So, and it has a lot to do with how we eat. And in fact, things have gotten worse for us in how we eat. So I'm gonna go over some of that with you. I'm gonna give you some little ticklers. So I'm going to relate this to menopausal women as we go through the week. But I want you to have a general idea of what's going on. And, one in the CDC said, I've had some statistics up, the CDC, adult obesity facts. It's a serious, common, and costly chronic disease. More than 2 in 5 US adults have obesity. A lot of those are women too. Many adults with obesity have serious chronic issues, including diabetes and heart disease. It accounts for $173 billion in medical expenditures. That was in 2019. And it's probably worse now because of the environment of COVID, right? So it's just sad to me. And when we can do something about it, right? I lost my screen. Where'd y'all go? Okay, there I am. Okay, so why is this happening? We live in an obesogenic, fat-promoting environment. We just do. The food that's available to us is sugars and fats. A lot of them that's what the food supply is laden with, sugar and fats. And packaged foods have led to a fat society. We're basically addicted to sugar, fat, and white flour, AKA dietary crack. This book, oh geez. Okay, Weight Loss Secrets, Dr. Seaman, he's a chiropractic functional doctor. And in his book, he talks about the studies that have been done that high sugar fat foods stimulate the brain's reward pleasure centers in the same fashion as addictive drugs, which is thought to be why we eat them, despite knowing they're bad for us. So this is not your fault, guys. That's the point of that particular fact is that it's not really your fault. It's the food industry has basically kind of poisoned us. We also have an instinctual drive to overeat. We were made to be hunters and gatherers. Well, the men were made to hunt and gather and feed. And there was, they scavenged, and now we have food everywhere. So we don't have to do that, but we're still instinctually driven to eat. It's predisposed that we overeat. So we have this instinctual drive. And we become mindless about eating. On another day, I'm going to go into more about mindfulness around eating, because we've just become negligent and mindless because it's so abundant and so available. We also are suffering from poor gut bacteria. And we basically, because of this overconsumption of sugars, fats, and flours, white flours, we have an overgrowth of bad gut bacteria, which is related to the weight gain. The American diet, the standard American diet is 60% sugar and processed foods. That's pretty frightening. These foods also cause a reduction in anti-inflammatory bacteria, which is good for us. So we can't absorb the nutrients that we eat. And also the hormone signals are messed up that are sending, satiety signals. These are all hormone mechanisms in our body. And they don't work properly because our gut is messed up. Our gut's not working well. So that's another reason. Giving you all the dirty details, right? Okay, the fourth one is we have a sedentary lifestyle. We are more sedentary than ever. I was thinking the other day, we didn't have power one day last week. Some of you know this, that we had a weird power. It wasn't related to the storm, might have been, but anyway, it was kind of a situational thing. We were out for like 24 hours. Well, it was my housekeeper day. And my housekeeper came that morning and I had to send her away because we didn't have power. So I'm telling you the story because the thought I had was the next day I was running the vacuum cleaner, which I never do. Like when we had dogs, I would because we had more hair and the housekeeper comes every 2 weeks. But I was running the vacuum cleaner because I'm like, I got to clean because the housekeeper couldn't be here. And so I was running the vacuum cleaner in my bedroom and I was thinking, I don't have one of those like robo things, but think about it. We're so lazy. We don't want to do, we're just not as active. So we sit more, we're in desk jobs, we're behind our computers a lot. And we have to remind ourselves to go move. In the olden days, we were more active. We did more stuff. And so this is causing us to have some problems with our weight because we're sitting too much. We're not burning as many calories. This is a big one for women, especially menopausal women, this lack of sleep. We have a problem with sleep because of the hormonal fluctuations that are going on. It does leave us, again, it's a vicious cycle. And now we're going to crave what? Sugar and sweets because we are lacking in sleep. Have you ever had a night like that? And then you wake up and you're like, I'm hungry. You're hungry right away. You want caffeine and sugar. Caffeine and sugar. It's definitely an addiction. Also not getting enough sleep promotes that inflammation and insulin resistance. I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. And basically fatigue. So we're just adding insult to injury when we don't get enough sleep. These are general reasons why but think about a menopausal woman who's already having these hormonal fluctuations naturally going on, and then we're on top of it. So this is why we can't lose the weight that we put on during these times. We can, but this is why we are it's harder and we're frustrated. All right. Number 6 is we're overstressed. What do we do when we're stressed? Who here eats out of stress? I'm going to check. Yes, we become mindless and we have to pivot. So true. The statistics are scary. So who here, drop a comment if you've ever stress eaten. Like you had a bad day at work. You had something traumatic happen in your family. You're upset about something. Even during COVID, there was a lot of stress eating. We were really anxious about what was going on. So we would just eat. We were bored. Bored is same as stress eating, really. It's stress eating. So Dr. Seaman says about stress eating. Hang on a second, let me find the page in my book. It's so good to hear. So one of the outcomes of stress eating, many stress hormones. So cortisol is your stress hormone. And without going into too much detail, one of the outcomes of excess cortisol produced by the body due to stress, that's why we call it the stress hormone, is insulin resistance. This means that muscles will not respond to insulin properly, leading to elevated levels of circulating insulin. Insulin is your fat storing hormone. So insulin also takes the glucose, which is the energy from the food that you're eating, and puts it where it needs to go for your cellular functions and your bodily functions. And what's left over gets stored as fat. So that there's too much insulin circulating in the blood system, it's getting stored as fat. And cortisol is saying, hey, insulin, I need you, when you don't. So anyway, elevated insulin levels promote the conversion of glucose from refined carbs into fat. So it's the fat storing hormone. It's terrible. We need it because we need it to do its job, but we don't need so much of it. So stress, a slowing metabolism, probably related to all of those things. Number 7. Oh, a slowing metabolism. We have broken our metabolisms this is where the menopausal women come in, women especially, with deprivation diets. When we start restricting our calories, and I'm telling you guys, this is one of the things that really prompted me and pushed me really to get out in the world and get my message out there. Stop dieting. Please stop dieting. The calorie restricted dieting that people are doing on some of these quick programs, and they're losing quick weight, is not healthy for your metabolism, and it's not sustainable. So we've messed up our metabolism. So raise your hand. Well, maybe you don't have to raise your hand, but I know you guys can relate to me because I've done it too, and I even know better. So I know you have done it too, where you've like, oh, I'm going to try that for 3 days. I'm going to try that for 10 days or a week or 2 weeks. I'm just going to eat broccoli for 2 weeks and then I'll lose all this weight. No, you're going to mess up your metabolism. Don't do it. All right. Candy. Oh, hey, Lisa. Stress, eat, and drink. Jackie said candy. That's your go-to stress food. Yeah. We got to find some substitutions for that. Number 8 is hormonal havoc. This is just what's going on, the natural menopause transition for women, where your hormones are shifting. You're adding this stress factor. Naturally, the metabolism is slowing down naturally. It's part of the aging process. It's the perfect storm, you guys, for weight gain. This is what it's about. It's not your fault that this is happening to you. But there is something you can do about it. So that's the message I want to bring you, is you don't have to feel like you feel. I don't know why this boss keeps falling off my shoulders. Oh my gosh. The 9th reason, I'm giving you 10, by the way. The 9th reason is we have inflammation going on in our brain. Isn't that crazy? It's in our head, and it literally is in our head. This paradox of feeling hungry when we're full. You guys, I have this happen still, where I'm like, why am I hungry? I just ate. Have you ever had that happen? Have you ever had like a nice meal and then a half hour later you're hungry? Why? It's part of this, the hypothalamus is the area of the brain that triggers hunger. And the receptors are not getting the message that it's full, that you don't need to be hungry. And that's caused by inflammation. That's caused by sugar, fat, white flour, that combination specifically. All right. And the 10th reason is, anybody else just simply confused? Like, it's confusing. The other thing I tell women to do, I have 2 messages for you today, really. I have 10 reasons that gave you why you're still fat and why you might be frustrated over not being able to lose this belly fat and weight, is stop dieting and stop Googling, because you're just going to get more confused. There is no lack of information available about how to lose weight, but it's not all true. And it's not all coming from sources of people who know it. Okay. We're just confused. right? It's this diet this week and this diet next week, and everybody's trying to find the magic pill. And now we have little skinny drops, and we have injectables, and we have tablets that we can take that promise you this is going to be the answer. And really, the answer is simpler than that. Simpler than that. And it's coming this week to you. But it starts with getting off of sugar and processed junk food. That's where it starts. And there's no way around that, because even those pills and stuff and those special diets with all the little packaged bars and stuff, even all those things, they'll help you lose 6 pounds or 10 pounds or 15 pounds. And some people have lost a lot of weight. But the minute you stop using those products, you start gaining the weight back again, and usually more. I think in your email today, you got a statistic. It's either email today or tomorrow that 95% of people who go on these kinds of diets gain the weight back. So they're not very successful long-term. They're not sustainable. You have to get your head around it being something sustainable that you can live with. And that's why I call myself a nutrition and lifestyle coach, because until we can learn to live healthy, then nothing's going to work. We're going to be constantly frustrated. And 20 years down the road, we're still going to be asking ourselves the same question: why am I still fat? So I don't want you to be still fat. I want you to feel better. Okay? I want you to feel better. So I'm going to give you a really grounded view and point you in the right direction. And that's what this week is all about. I don't want to just give you a lot of information. I want this week to be about inspiration. I want to inspire you to take some action, because without action, nothing's going to work. Nothing's good. Right? Knowledge is powerful, but action is where it's at. That's where you're going to see some results. So take some action. Use your guide and start wherever you are. Is the first thing I want to say. Like, some people can cold turkey this sugar thing, and they're just like, okay, I believe you can do that. I believe that for 5 days you can do anything. So just stop eating sugar-laden foods for 5 days. Up your water instead. Every time you feel like a cookie, have a glass of water. And just get through 5 days of that and see how much better you feel. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed. And if you cheat, you're choosing. I hate the word cheat, but I bring it up because a lot of people relate to that. They say, oh, I cheated. You're choosing something else. But so I want you to choose health. I want you to choose to feel better. I want you to choose to be your best. I want you to choose life and living, and not choose disease and sickness, because that's where you're headed if you continue to eat the way that you eat. If you're one of these, if you're here because you want to learn, right? And you want to fix this problem of, you want to have a reset. And a reset is a great thing to do because it gives you a jump start, and it gives you the motivation. You're going to feel so much better that you're going to be more motivated to continue that. That's what the reset's about. So I want you to abandon the sugar for, let's see where we're at. Just for the 5 days. This is what we're going to follow. It's really important to follow these simple guidelines. They're so simple. They're simple. Not necessarily easy to do, but they're simple. So no sugar or processed food this week. Can you do that? Please tell me if you can do that. Healthy lifestyle is key. Yes. Healthy lifestyle. No sugar. No alcohol. Just for this week. This one, I challenged myself with this, and I'm doing the same thing because I already don't eat sugar, but this week it's no wine. Those of you who know me know that I love my glass of red wine. So no wine. this week. No wine. Exercise, get some movement in your day, even if it's 30 minutes. You guys, ideally, it's best if you don't sit for more than an hour at a time. So put a timer on when you're sitting at your desk, and after an hour, get up. I have a smartwatch that I'm not wearing at the moment because I forgot to charge it up, but I usually wear it, and it reminds me to stand and get up. And when it reminds me to stand and get up, it also reminds me to have a glass of water, because that's what I do when I stand. I go get some water, even though I have some here, but I'll stand and I'll take my water jug and I'll walk around my house for a few minutes until I'm, just for a few minutes. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just move. So if you stood up and you moved for 5 minutes every hour that you're awake, let's see, that's like 50 minutes of movement. That's a better, and in fact, research has shown that can be just as effective as a workout at the gym. We don't have to work ourselves that hard. It doesn't have to be so overwhelming. So just move. Make yourself aware to move. If you're already in the habit of exercising every day, then add a little bit to it. Just add a little bit to it. Because I know some of you on here are walkers. Kristen said, yes, I can do it. Yes, you can. Eat what you plan to eat. This is big, you guys. Be true to yourself. Like, make a plan. You have a meal planning template in your guide. And I gave you ideas for breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner. I basically gave you a plan. You can either follow that plan or you can create your own that's based from real whole foods, but eat what you plan to eat. And the more important thing is plan, because if you don't plan, then you're going to be hungry and you're going to grab whatever is available, right? So plan it. This is what my plan looked like this week. Some of you saw, oh no, this is going in a picture. Anyway, it's just a little meal planning template that I use. That side's the meal plan. I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See? Breakfast. Let me hold it by the camera. Okay, never mind. You can kind of get the idea. Boy, that's weird. There you go. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then my shopping list is over here. So guess what I did yesterday? I took a picture of this on my phone and I went to the store and I got the things. And I planned. It took all of 15 minutes. We think it's so overwhelming, and it's not really. It's really quite simple. Drink water. Try to drink half your body weight in water. At least a couple jugs of this. Like, these are 40 ounce. This is a 40 ounce Stanley cup. So I try to drink 2 of those a day. I'm going to be honest. I don't always get through it. But that's my goal. So I try. And then track if you can. If you have an app on your phone, like MyFitnessPal, or I use one called Carb Manager. There's some free ones. There's some, just track what you're eating and see, just get in the habit of tracking. That's super important. You don't have to do it all the time, but it's super important to make you more mindful, because you don't want to eat something that you're going to have to put on that tracker. Nobody's going to look at it, by the way. I'm not going to look at it, but you're going to know. So you're going to know. If you can't track, then at least journal so that you can evaluate yourself. You can say, oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, I did 8. That's okay. It doesn't matter. It's just where you are. So those are the rules for this week: is no sugar, no alcohol, exercise for 30 minutes minimum, plan a meal plan, and then eat what you plan to eat, and then track on an app or a journal, and drink half your body weight in water. Even if you're traveling, you guys, you can do pretty good traveling. I travel and I stay pretty consistent with healthy choices. You can make the best choices that are available to you. I'm going to turn that tickler off. I just realized that's still going. All right. So everybody got it? Also in the guide is also in the guide is a sheet that has you set your goals for the week. So that's helpful, right? Yeah, let's set our intention for the challenge. So what I want you to do is set your intention for the challenge, and I'm going to post in the group a graphic that'll be this day's assignment, so to speak. And one of them is to set your intention for the challenge and what you're committed to doing, and then take your measurements this week and your weight just for a starting point. Okay, nobody's going to evaluate it. You don't have to put those on the Facebook group, but I do want you to set your intentions for the week. So, and then share those with us. Okay. So that's what I got for you. So I will see you tomorrow. This was a little bit long because I had to go over some of the housekeeping stuff related to the guide. Tomorrow, I'm coming to tell you exactly what to eat, what kinds of food to eat, how to simplify this so that it's not so overwhelming. You don't need a pile of recipes. You don't even really need to know how to cook that much to eat healthy. So but it can be simple stuff. It doesn't have to be complicated. So tomorrow I'm going to go over what to eat. What the heck can I eat if I'm not eating sugar and bread and processed packaged foods? Like, what can I eat? So I'm going to go over that tomorrow. Also give you kind of a simple formula for how to build your plate so that it's always healthy. And then that's tomorrow's training. And then on Wednesday, I'll be talking about exercise, I think that's right. And then mindset. And then we'll wrap it up with Friday. Friday will be a Zoom. I won't come live. We'll be on Zoom together because Friday I want to do some Q&A. And I want to address I'm going to give you some, we're going to go deeper. Okay. So it's free coaching, guys. So sign up for Friday. I'll have more information about that coming up. So watch the Facebook group in the next couple of days. And that's what I got. I'll see you tomorrow on the same time, same place. 12 live, 12 noon. Okay, so again, watch your emails. If you're not getting emails, that means you didn't register through the link. So grab the link. I'll post that below this video so that you can get in there. It's not too late. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I love you all. And I will see you tomorrow at 12 noon Central Time. See ya.